Deborah Howell, and I live in North Canterbury in a village called Waikari. I've lived there for the last 25 years, running a medical centre there. My first school was in England because I didn't come out to New Zealand until I was 30 years old. And I went there when I was 5 years old and stayed there, I think, for 2 years. I certainly had 2 teachers. For some reason, I was taken away from that school, and the only grounds I can remember is that it didn't teach joined-up writing. I have very few memories of that first school. Big classrooms, a frightening experience with the headmistress when I once left behind a folder after an extracurricular dance class and was hauled up because I left this folder behind in the class. I was sent to the headmistress's office and she was very stern with me. I was terrified. So after leaving that school, I was sent to the local village school, which was closer, a little bit closer. And I had 2 years at that school, again in 2 classrooms with 2 teachers. The first teacher, whose name was Mrs. Squeers, I don't remember her being unpleasant until a certain instant later on. I remember a lot of embroidery and knitting and having to go out of the classroom to go to the outside block of toilets, which were certainly non-flush. But in the second year, which was the headmistress's class, Mrs. Grant, there was an incident which absolutely burnt itself into my mind when I was mistakenly accused of having been talking to the girl behind me, whose name is Jacqueline Brooks. In fact, she'd been trying to talk to me and I'd turned around and told her to shut up. And afterwards, I was kept behind when the others went out for whatever it was, break or lunch. And both teachers came in and told me that I thought I was better than everybody else in the school because my father was a farmer. And I had absolutely no idea I would have been 7 years old, that there was any difference between me and anybody else in the school until that moment. And it was a moment of a sense of complete injustice that I'd been hauled up. I was frightened of being hit with a ruler, but I wasn't hit with a ruler. But terrible moment. Although looking back on it, I realised that I never went to any of those other children's homes. So perhaps my parents did feel that I had to be, they were, I don't know, cut above or something like that. I don't know. And after 2 years in that school, at the age of 8, I took an exam for the very, I suppose, prestigious girls' high school in a school quite a distance away, and got in. Took an exam at the age of 8. Got in and spent the rest of my school days, the next 10 years, at Norwich High School. Is that enough?
That's lovely, thank you.